Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Automation Hub Sarthak, and in one of the uh, English playlist of TestNG, I'm going to add one more video which is known as optional parameters in TestNG. If you go to my TestNG English playlist, you will definitely see that I've already done parameterization using TestNG. This was almost 2 years before. I'm using the same code. The only thing is I'm explaining this part. What is optional parameters in TestNG? That's it. You don't have to change the code. I've already written the code so that this video doesn't get elongated very long. So it's the same Rediff code which I typically use. I've created an @test annotation. This is a test case which I've created. I've passed the parameters here. I passed the parameters. I've kept the same 4 parameters, nothing that I've changed. It's the browser, the URL, the username and password. And then in this particular method, I have added the parameters equivalently. And then in the code I have given this if condition for the browser to open, and then here the typical thing of I've utilized the parameters and not the hard-coded values. Okay, and for the same I have for this optional parameters.java class I have created a testng.xml. So even though I have named it testng optional parameters.xml, and here in this particular test I have passed those 4 parameters. This exactly I did in parameterization using testng.xml. So this is the simple code. You don't have to change anything, just keep the same. The only difference is I'll just run this particular testng.xml right now. It should work absolutely fine. There should not be any problem. So the parameterization is working absolutely fine. And then this driver will itself. Okay, so this particular code works absolutely fine. Test case is passing. My intention here is to show you what optional parameters are. So let's say for certain reasons you have not entered this particular value. This particular browser parameter you have not entered. The other 3 you have entered, but this browser parameter you have not entered. And here you have declared that parameter. Now if you try to run this particular code, you run this particular testng.xml file, it will give you a certain suggestion. It says this is a testng exception, and it says the browser parameter is required by @test, which it does. So because it is using it on method this, but has not been marked optional or defined, that means you are trying to get the browser parameter, which is actually a key, and this is not defined in testng.xml. So how will this particular class will use this parameter? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. So go into this method, inside the method parameterized part, just write here @optional and pass the value. What is our parameter Chrome? Just give a space, save it, and then import this optional from testng.org, org.testng annotations. That's it. Now you can go and run this. This one will run absolutely fine. It is running absolutely fine. Now the next question you might be asking is, can we give only one parameter as optional, or we can give multiple parameters as optional? You can give multiple parameters as optional. Let me show you. Let's say browser and URL, both parameters have not been defined. Just for argument's sake, as of now I have commented it, just believe that they don't exist in the testng.xml. So here for the URL parameter, which we have not defined in testng.xml, you can use this also. The only thing is you have to pass the value of that. Just copy this and put it over here. That's it. And give a space. No, I mean here. That's it. and now go to testng.xml, run that part. It will still work. So this optional parameters I wanted to share with you. Again, do I have to use it? Well, it's up to you. Sometimes we do certain mistakes in testng.xml file and our code doesn't run. For example, earlier when I started TestNG, I used to give a comma over here. I mean, it will not throw you an error. Let's say, for example, I'll put a comma here. It will not throw you some kind of mad error. It is doing right now because testng.xml file is throwing an error right now. But earlier, it never used to throw me an error. I used to pass a comma, or somehow I forgot the giving equal to value sometimes. So something or the other mistake I used to do in certain cases, and then it would not run. So, but if you do this, it will anyways run. Now the question is, what if this is already there in TestNG? I don't want that is it is already there, and I've also passed the optional parameters for that. For the URL, I've already passed the optional parameter, as well as this exists in the testng.xml. Now what will happen? Which one will it choose? Will it run, or will it say that you are using it twice? What is going to happen? Nothing is going to happen. It will run. It will run as designated. It is working absolutely fine, and it will close itself. Okay. See, the thing is, in such a situation when both optional parameters and the regular parameter inside the testng.xml which have been defined, it will always pick the regular parameter of testng.xml, because as the name suggests, this is an optional thing. If it does not exist here, then only it will pick it up from here. But if it already exists here, then it will give you that kind of priority here. So that's it. So you can choose to write this way, or you can choose to make sure that your testng.xml file is absolutely well defined. It's up to you. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, continue to subscribe to my channel, share and like videos, and pass your comments in the comment section, and if possible, I'll pull you in to help you with the doubts in your Zoom session. Thank you so much. Sarthak here, signing off.